fabulous Casa Calabria in the Ocean Manor Hotel on the Galt Ocean Mile.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Once again, we're on the road. Once again, we're overlooking the beautiful Atlantic Ocean at one of our favorite tour stops here on the Lunchbox tour, and that is Casa Calabria, Ocean Manor Hotel, Galt Ocean Mile, Fort Lauderdale. I'm just kind of stretching to get us loaded up here. Jeff Defo DeForest.
Your stretching is always worse. Don't stretch. Just do
you're
it.
when you do this
and if you look like a jerk off, it's okay because your stretching is like the worst stretching ever.
Well, we're here, we're there, we're seeing the ocean.
Just because you guys are now like all national again on the Tony Bruno Sports Network that has all these Michigas labels of like, get the fishing report from Naples Pier, and you press that button. Oh, behold, Defo and Lubie.
Hey, look, it's better than being in
started.
a chicken suit on A1A.
I just love
It's
it.
what I always tell people.
You don't even let a guy really get into the digs before you start firing back.
Well, because I'm from Brooklyn. If you're going to start with me, I'm going to finish.
You can mock me. I'm just saying you don't need to stretch. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I do worry about it. I want to get us loaded up.
So get us loaded up.
That was the most
loaded up.
enthusiasm that you have had coming into a show in 2 years, which is this not an historic occasion, Mike?
This actually is.
It is. And as if you notice in front of me, here we go. And we are loaded up and we are ready to go. And
Beautiful. Look at that.
who would have thought that 2 years ago when they, jiggled the switches with the Band-Aids and masking tape at, what was the name of the station? W, whatever it is, 1470.
What were the call letters on that thing?
WWNN.
WWNN, the wind.
I love that you guys forgot all of it.
H-E-L-P. That was the call letters.
Well, and it started actually over food because I was a fan of the Brussels sprouts at the farmhouse, right? So a lady calls me, a woman that I'd known for a while, as a general manager of the radio station, the lovely Jody, and she says, would you be interested in maybe buying a time slot here on the station? I'm thinking, for what? I can't even imagine coming back there. I had done a period of purgatory radio there very briefly, and it was, not overwhelmingly successful, I would say, because nobody could hear the station at the time. I was on at night. So she makes the proposition to me, but I really only went so I could get some of the Brussels sprouts at the farmhouse in Boca, which is in the Royal Palm Place.
Right.
And I thought that was one of
that was your first go around, or was that this iteration?
That was, to discuss maybe buying the time slot, and I was trying to think what could I possibly air in this spot that would work? And then I realized there's only one thing that could work here, and that is Mike freaking Mayo.
And okay, so
Mike Mayo's Lunchbox was born by not by design, but by pure, unadulterated accident.
Necessity.
In quest of a free lunch.
Necessity. And look how it's worked out. We've got a trail of free lunches. Who says there's no such thing?
Best free lunches in town are eaten by us. Yeah.
November 1st, 2021 was the day that will live in infamy. That was the day we started the Lunchbox. And again, we to celebrate, look at what I got. I got us a bottle of Prosecco.
Like a cheap bottle of wine.
It's a Prosecco, which is the Italian version. It's an Italian sparkling wine that is similar to, of course, champagne. It's the Italian version.
You're no good at opening champagne.
Well, here we go.
Does your ex-wife do it when you have these parties?
There we go. I got it. I just got, I do it like the little,
I'll give you a little trick.
Jewish.
Here's a waiter's trick.
Is the cork gonna pop and hit me in the eye?
Here's a waiter's trick, man. You turn the bottle, not the cork.
Well, it's even better if you can remove the wire.
That would help. In opening champagne, and hold the cork steady. Don't twist your right wrist if you're a righty, and turn the bottle, and you'll get it out every time.
So I completely botched it, but I did get it open without any injuries.
Because there's no fizz in this thing. It's flat as a pancake.
It's not flat as a pancake. It's Prosecco. It's a sparkling wine. It's a rosé. It was very, and I actually brought in our own bottle because I didn't want to steal one from Frankie.
I would have rather gotten paid today, but nonetheless.
So we got an Italian rosé Prosecco, and now I am going to pour us a toast.
rosé.
All right.
And
Not
I don't
too
know.
much there.
There's
I don't
plenty
know.
of
Oh,
space.
because you already got your
Yeah,
Oh,
other
I'm a
wine.
wine.
Chardonnay drinker.
You were dipping into the reserves here.
And I will probably
at
get some red wine too. I'm
Casa
not gonna lie. They have a really nice.
Well,
showcase of
we
red
got to
wine
give
here.
a little Mazel Tov toast here,
Yes,
and
yes, I get it.
not just the 2-year anniversary of the Lunchbox. The 65th anniversary just was marked at
It was
Ocean
a spectacular.
Manor
It really
Resort.
was.
And again, that was earlier, I guess, a couple of weeks ago. Frank Talrico donned a tuxedo and had a big bash. Were you over here for that? Or
I
you
couldn't
got...
make it. I had a little bit of an issue from a social standpoint in terms of whereabouts of the Mustang. And by the time she got a hold of me, it was too late to come over. They were partying till like 4 a.m, though. I did see some
that's
people
good.
the next day because it was back-to-back celebrations of local restaurateurs in the area here. Frankie Tallarico was celebrating the 65th anniversary of the Ocean Manor Hotel. And our good friend Dave B. up the street, the 30th year of Stingers
Right,
on the
wow.
a
beach.
place that I still
So there
have
were-
not been
get
inside.
you
I've
out
driven
there.
you would
by.
like it, yeah.
We'll set up a remote show
He
there.
wants to do a show there.
I'll
but
have some of the pizzas.
They have really good pizza.
You say we
Nonetheless-
can't have him on because nobody understands what he says. He like has a... Oh, okay.
He talks like mumbles on the old
He does.
Clutch Cargo
Yeah.
cartoon. I don't know if you remember that.
Well, that could be. We could have a one-on-one with
and
Lubie
me,
and
In fact, if Dave B was the guy that you called over to the table because you were calling a manager about some beef that you had, it would be great because it would continue to go unresolved, as he just said. Nobody would understand. But he means well. No, great guy. And so there were back-to-back parties.
Right.
And I saw some people that were at the Ocean Manor celebration the next day at Dave B's place, which was
Yeah.
late in the afternoon.
and
And
they were
they were in full recovery.
ashen faced.
They were needing a
Well, the-
standing 8 count. Yeah.
Best way to recover is just start
Keep
drinking
drinking,
again.
yeah.
That's
Well,
Scary
that's
dog,
kind of the
yeah.
principle
Quickest.
behind a lot of this stuff here on the Lauderdale by the Sea section of
I was
town.
gonna say,
So,
you give them a lot of
here we
power.
go.
Oh, and besides, 5 years of Let's Eat South Florida was a
Yes.
month ago. We've
Wow.
got 2 years of the Lunchbox
Where's
today.
Rich?
We got
You didn't invite her?
65 years. Well, she just got back from a lengthy vacation.
Okay.
I'm sure the last thing she wants to see is us or
You,
me.
yeah.
Yeah, me anyway.
No, she loves you. What are you
And of course, we could also be popping Prosecco bottles today for here's to the Seminole Tribe. They're going to be launching
Yes, Mazel Tov,
sports betting,
finally.
and also for all you true
Stay
Not
degenerates.
that we want to cash in on that.
Oh well,
We
we are.
openly want
I
to
already
cash
have
in on
calls
that.
in.
But-
the first thing I did was text Mayo.
The day is soon arriving. I
Go
think
get
they
it, Mayo.
had announced it's like December 10th for the South Florida Seminole casino properties, including Coconut Creek, our friends over there at New York NYY Steak, and
Yeah.
Kelly Montner, whose title now is officially Director of Poker and Sportsbook. And
You know what's great about
You know,
Florida, though, is
That's-
even
that
as they
worked
were
out.
explaining this on the news, nobody knew what it was. Nobody knows how it's going to be implemented
Well-
or how it's going to be executed or who's going to be involved. They still have no idea. Yeah, it's
well,
great.
I believe. Well, let's
Now you
do
wanna
our
share
first
that.
Mazel Tov,
Okay.
and let's
Salud.
just say
Cheers.
here's to 2 more
Chin, chin.
years.
Louis thought I was crazy when I said,
Yeah,
let's put
chin
Mayo
tonic.
on the show.
I-
right.
I
Chin
talked to
tonic.
I
Mayo
was
about
going
that
way
last
back.
week.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's try this cheapo wine. You
Got a little
It's
warm.
nice. It has a lot of fizz.
Little
Where'd you
warm.
go? Where'd you go?
Yeah, there was a liquor store right on the Galt Ocean Mile there. I just wanted to
Definitely
pop in.
has fizz. Devo can't say
It's
it
got
doesn't have
fizz.
No,
Yeah.
It's
it's
a
all
little
right.
sweet.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
It's
I think it's
Yeah.
fine.
I think
I like
for
prosecco. I like a rosé prosecco.
if we had made it like 25 years or those true milestones, I would have gone out maybe
I'm
and
not going
gotten
to
the
make
Dom
25 years of
Perignon.
this, I can assure you. I would take the under on that every time.
Well, is that because
I'm not
of
going to make 25
your
years. period.
enthusiasm for the project, or
No,
because of
He's
your
72.
the realities of your age?
I hope at
Well, I
97
mean,
he
in
doesn't have to do
reality,
this.
if I'm still broadcasting this show at 97, I would be surprised. Let's just put it that way.
I don't even
If
want
I
to do
can
my
this.
speak at
60s.
97
I
if
wanna
I'm
do
alive.
this. I
Do I
don't
wanna
make
do the math
97
for
mail?
myself.
I'm taking the
That would
under
be
on that.
amazing. I'm in my 60s and Defo's
Yeah.
in his 90s and we're still doing this for
Imagine
after
that.
show.
Yeah.
So,
Louis like, when are you going to let me talk?
so let's get back to the Seminoles. The way I think it's going to work is because right now they are cleared and there are no more legal boundaries or barriers for them to operate.
There are no legal boundaries for them, period.
No, there are.
Let's put it
There
that way.
are. They are subject to federal regulation through the Indian gaming and authorities and all that stuff.
Who knows what that
But
is?
they are allowed to conduct sports betting on their tribal lands.
Yeah.
And that, I
What a
believe,
surprise.
is what they're going to do is actually open Las Vegas casino sportsbook type setups at
Nice.
their properties.
Okay.
They, I don't think, do not have the
Ah,
go
right.
ahead to turn on an app and have anybody download their app and bet it anywhere in Florida, because that is still
that's out for
legal.
now, yes.
It's still being challenged through the legal
that guy,
system.
Rogoff, the attorney that
Bruce
represents
Rogow is he always wore a bow tie, very classy guy.
I'm sure you've spoken with him many times.
I have, and he's taken shots at me, but that's okay.
No.
We've
what
always.
Could you have done to alienate anybody, Mike?
One time I walked into Casa D'Angelo looking like a complete schlub, and he just looked at me and said, "They let you in here like that?"
That's never a particularly flattering thing that somebody would relay to you right away, as opposed to, "Hey, Mike, how are you? How's it going?"
Well, we have that kind of relationship. But no, he didn't call me a schlub.
But he's always very distinguished, but old school dress.
Bow tie. Anybody wears a bow tie. I don't even know how to tie a bow tie. Do you?
No. He's been involved with those guys forever, though.
My grandfather,
Native American law
bow tie
that he understands.
All right, so December 10th, I think, is the date here. December 11th up in the Tampa properties, but the bottom line.
I thought December 7th.
Oh,
Thursday, December 7th.
Oh, Day of Infamy.
That was right.
Yes.
All right, December 7th. I was quickly reading and scanning things.
Yeah.
Sometimes in early December, and hopefully, besides the sports betting on their properties, they're also going to be launching.
They will have roulette
and craps, which I don't play. Craps. Do you know point?
I love craps. Yeah,
playing the
craps
point,
is a great
come,
game.
don't come. That sounds like
a million ways to play it. A lot of ways to lose, but a million ways to play it. It's a very, very entertaining form of gambling. If the table is hot, there is nothing like it. If you can get on a roll where somebody's got the dice for like 25, 30 minutes or longer, but I mean, even 15 is a good roll. You are just stacked with chips like you've never seen. You make money faster than any other form of gambling.
Can you also lose them and see them evaporate faster?
Well, I mean, many times it's a brick, and you're in there, you buy in for whatever denomination that you usually buy into a game. Let's say it's 300, just for example, and you could be wiped out in seconds also.
I'm a little afraid if I ever actually threw the dice at a table. I think I would be so
excited. Be good.
They would just like fly off the table.
Okay.
I would miss. You
yell as soon as they go off the table. You yell to the stick man, "Same dice."
I think,
and then the guy goes crawling under like 6 other tables to get those same dice back and put them back in.
Because there's nothing worse at a poker table than if like the dealer like throws the card and you don't catch it and it goes off the table and then they got to call 5 people. Card on the floor. Card on the floor.
Or you flip your cards over thinking that you're out of the game, but now you're showing your cards to other
then
players.
They penalize you.
Really
but with the dice, I've actually had anxiety dreams. Like
you might be a good roller.
You ever have the anxiety dream where you've been for some reason chosen to throw the first pitch at a ball game, and then you throw that absolute like hideous where it just bounces and it's just like a dribbler.
We threw first pitches 2 years in a row, and we're stressed out for 2 weeks.
I dropped one in the dirt in West Palm Beach one time.
I mean, and that's what I've had an anxiety dream about. I was at a craps table, and I was so bad, it just like I kept throwing it off the table.
Okay.
It kept like rolling.
A novice roller is fine. Actually, with the beginner's luck element, you almost want a novice roller. How is it that always the hot chick like Sharon Stone in the movie Casino is the one that's making point after point after point and rolling all kinds of numbers, and everybody's cashing, and then the shoe is filled. But if you go by most craps tables, this is the thing to check out. See how many chips each guy individually. They're like, about 12 people stacked around a table? How many chips do they have in the shoe? And if you only see like one guy's got a couple of 5s, one guy's like got $125 chip, you want to run from that table.
Oh yeah, the guy's ice cold, right?
Ice
you
cold.
want to see racks and racks and stacks.
You want to see people
and
just yelling and screaming all night long. I witnessed a game like that, and there's nothing like, if you're asking what the experience is like, if you're in on a hot roll, there is nothing like it.
Is that what they call it, a hot roll?
A hot roll, yeah, where somebody holds the dice for a while. It happened to me once when there was a proliferation of these cruise to nowhere ships, and there was a new one out of Miami called the Casino Miami. So I go out there with a bunch of guys called the Dice SWAT team. We knew them as. Some lady grabs the dice as the ship just gets to the 3-mile limit, holds it for 45 minutes.
What?
You know how the people greet you when you come off those ships? They say, "Thank you for coming." They were ashen white. We had wiped them out of business that day.
Wow, that's an impressive feat. If you're on a hot roll, do you say, "Bring me some butter"? I'm on a hot roll.
No, it's great. I mean, it's really just good fun.
But you guys are just
there's really a camaraderie in racing.
All right, it wasn't a good line. All right, let me ask this question.
You're hungry.
Just Defo de Farce. After 2 years, do we still cut the mustard?
In terms of what? Paying extra for it?
He didn't get the mustard
I
reference.
got the reference, but I don't know. I don't know if we do.
In terms of the
In terms of we talked about mustard for 20 minutes yesterday, and we
Chinese
got
mustard.
a
I
post.
love that post went that rampant.
That
That's
post
so
has,
funny.
what was it, 26,000 views? By now it's probably like 35,000.
what were people thinking though?
300,
That's the
400
question.
comments.
I was just
You
saying.
love this though about Let's Eat.
Yeah, I do.
Friday.
I mean, it's a
You
love,
love to provoke the crowd.
it's a
And egg
love-hate
them on.
relationship.
Because what was great about that post, and it really defines what this whole show is all about, is that we really said nothing there.
I just threw it out. I just throw an image with a
26,000
highlighted
people.
yellow circle around the charge for 50 cents for
Yeah.
house mustard, and I followed
Well,
the
which
rules.
Isn't
Restaurant name and
that
city,
bad. I mean,
May's
really, yeah.
Kitchen, Pompano Beach. Have at it, receipt freaks. That's it.
and they went nuts. The people went
And they
crazy
did
for it,
have
yeah.
at it. And I guess there were
Uh,
3 camps.
Mixed bag of results, but nothing was really unreasonable. I would say this, that for 50 cents, who are you arguing with at this
Right.
point in your life? I mean, what is 50 cents worth in the long run? And if they give you 2 good meals at a reasonable price, if they want to charge you for that,
The 3 camps were
it's
this.
schmanky, but it's okay.
It's a reasonable charge because it's an extra product that costs the restaurant money.
Our chef is in action.
Number
There he is.
2,
He's got stuff on his
the
stove.
second camp was should be included or just built into the cost of the items
Yeah. It
because
would be
it's
like
something you
ketchup
come
with a
to
burger to me.
expect.
That's all.
And then the third camp was make it yourself at home.
Why
is-
was that
You know
Joanne
what's
had a
great? They gave
recipe?
us recipes, and
Joanne had
I,
a freaking recipe.
I'm hoping some of them are good because I'm going to try. I'm not exactly a chemist. I'm more of an alchemist, but I'm
Joanne,
going to try a couple of them.
Joanne
love
put
it.
up
I
a
love a
recipe for
recipe.
making your own hot Chinese
Which
mustard.
consists of what? Mustard powder, wasabi. Are you putting in there?
I didn't look at the recipe.
Exactly.
I've never even thought to make my own house
I
mustard
like
in my own
Chinese-clearing
house.
Chinese mustard or house mustard.
I do love it. I love the way that
I love
it will make your it rises up like a vapor, like a toxic cloud from a
There's
train
something about
derailment.
it, man. Yeah.
And the way it comes up, it's almost like a hallucinogenic drug where you just like
The first bite is very much like the first line of cocaine.
and
It really is.
What is it?
I wouldn't know
China-
anything about
hot
that,
mustard.
sir.
No, really, it
I
is. I mean,
honestly,
yeah, you were young and noble back then, but I
I was doing legal ecstasy back
he's
in the
not
day.
that noble. Mayo
That's
actually
where the
ventured
strangeness
out there.
comes from, Lubie.
I just haven't heard about
Now we
cocaine.
know.
It was before they even banned it. It was because it was coming out of the labs at Harvard
was
and MIT.
legal?
Oh my God! Yeah,
It was
and you're
still
at Tufts.
legal my freshman
Really?
year of college, and we well,
Those
never
were
mind.
legal.
This is a
Wow,
food
that's
show,
impressive.
and of
Well,
course
this
we are
explains a lot
opposed
about your approach
to
to
the
cocaine.
the use of
We're
any.
not opposed.
At that point, was not illegal, but we are
We're not
opposed to
condoning
use
drug
it.
use.
Yes.
As long as
Just
it's
that
legal. I
If
mean,
you
it
were
was
here in the
legal.
'80s, there's
We
a
are
pretty good
totally
chance.
opposed to drugs and substance
But
abuse.
you might have
I'll
done it in
drink
your
to that.
past. I mean,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's legal now, marijuana, pretty much. I mean,
Especially medical
all,
marijuana, just like
THC
gambling.
products.
The feds haven't
Don't
totally
they cook with it in
legalized
certain places?
Yes, they
around
do.
the country?
They do use a cannabis kitchen, and we got Chef Salvatore
He's running
here.
back and forth.
And we
man.
got,
The guy's doing a
everybody is
great job.
very busy these days. It's the beginning of the
feels
season,
like it's season,
and
man.
that's okay because I can afford,
The guy he's meeting
not
with
to
has
eat
a very
meal.
serious look on his face, though.
Yeah, it's
it's
like
okay.
a long meeting.
And I've seen Frankie in
Frank-
some of these meetings.
Frank
Talarico.
Talrico,
This guy's all over the place.
the
Can never nail him
proprietor
down.
and owner of Casa Calabria,
One of the
at
sweetest guys you'll
Ocean
ever meet.
Manor. He couldn't be with us today. He also is up in at his other property now, that
in Melbourne.
Port to Hiver,
Yes.
which means the port of something.
It's like gorgeous. That
like
place
the
looks
winter
gorgeous.
port. That's
Yeah.
what it means. It's
I'm going to
a
head up there in a couple of weeks. I
it's
think.
a bungle. It's kind of a what do they call it? A boutique
Bed and
hotel.
bre-
a
it's like the
B&B.
original
They
bed
have a
and
lot of that
breakfast.
there in Melbourne.
Up in
that area,
Melbourne,
on the beach. It's,
uh,
it's great.
Is it actually Melbourne or what was the other
No,
town?
it's Melbourne. You want it to be like one of
I
these
want it
other
to be
cities. It's
something
Melbourne.
else.
It is Melbourne. Yeah, I looked it up.
Vieira was where the Marlins originally trained,
Yes.
and that was also kind of Melbourne.
I
Vieira.
always
They're
get
now
those two
Melbourne. They're now
confused.
Did you go to some of those spring
Vieira
training,
and
uh,
Melbourne,
Jupiter,
of
they're now
course.
Jupiter.
No,
Right,
they're now in Jupiter, but
They're now
originally at the beginning they were in Vieira, which is next to
Yes.
Melbourne.
Right.
And Melbourne,
It was
of course,
considered
now we
Melbourne.
know is where Frank Talrico's newest project, the Port de Hiver, which
With
looks
my man,
fantastic.
Sean
Are you
McNamara.
going up there?
I'm going to
You're
head
actually-
up there, yeah, because
How much you can pay? What's the day
no,
rate?
Zero pay on that, but I'm assuming a couple of free
Shameless.
rooms for the weekend, or one
in
anyway.
peak season, I would think
I
he
don't
would
know.
have
I would
gotten you
reach
one in maybe
They just only have. It's a very small.
August.
I got a personal invite
July.
from somebody that's very close to Frankie
Okay.
Talarico,
Okay.
That's good.
All
who
right.
also has an investing interest in this hotel
Okay.
project.
All right.
Nice.
Well, I'm sure you're going to get all the
You know what?
appropriate
My buddy
clearances.
that I used to play tennis with lives up there, and he always recommends. He loves it. But for me, when the biggest form of entertainment is the local closed dog track, and you got to be at a certain stage of life where you're really
That's
not
why-
wanting to get
that's-
involved. I mean, you don't want to have lunch every day with a Mike Mayo and a Mike Lubie Lubitz.
All right.
Or I
I'm-
mean, you can
I'm
still
not
do your work
offended.
from there, but
I'm not
no,
offended.
I'm saying that I would
It's a
miss
slow.
this.
It's very slow
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
You're misinterpreting
Devo's
because
not there yet.
you're oversensitive right now to
I'm very
criticism.
oversensitive because I'm hangry. I did 3.5
Yeah, I was gonna
miles.
say I think you're freaking starving.
I
was
had
about
a
to steal
lovely-
piece of
You don't
cannoli
usually go
for
this
you.
long on a show without eating.
No,
stuff.
they're
and
usually
this-
good
or
like having
seeing
food.
food.
This
at least,
prosecco
yeah.
is getting right to
Yeah.
my head.
I'm about to eat some
I think it's the
Parmesan
gummy
cheese.
bears. I
More
really
than
do.
no, there's none of that.
Mr.
morning-
Nancy Reagan on the show.
My daughter had the day off. My daughter had the day off from school because it's
Test taking?
it's like a teacher conference day or something like that. So I did a really nice walk along the Hollywood Broadwalk this morning. We did a little over 3 miles, and
You get
so
some of that
yeah,
spaghetti at
I
the
got
end of the thing?
schwitzy.
Oh.
I had a whole big bucket of leftover Halloween candy that
Oh,
she
nice.
took to her house
I
and
had
her mom.
0 trick-or-treaters.
wanted
last
Zero.
night.
Well, that's-
0.0.
It was hammered in my neighborhood. It was nuts. I actually went with my nephew because he was wussing out halfway through. I'm like, no, you're not going to be done at 7.
Oh, and also Mustang informed me that the doorbell ring thing
is broken.
wasn't working.
Yeah.
So,
So you don't even know.
So
Oh,
any
it's
little
not
kid
like
that
you
was
sit
there-
out. See, so what we did, my neighborhood, and it's again a lot of single family homes in an older neighborhood, not a gated community. And I just set up shop with my daughter
Are there
last
any
night.
kids in your neighborhood?
Yeah, no, we
You sit in
had
front of my house too.
we sat from basically 7, like a little before 7 o'clock to a little after 8 o'clock,
Yep.
and we had a steady stream of
Yep.
trick or treaters.
Yep.
Of some bizarre outfits there, but there was some, there was some very creative ones, some very cute kids. I got my clown mask on at the very
Did you have
first
to do much?
person. You sometimes see it when we do home shows. It's hanging up on my wall, but that spooky, scary clown. I forget it was
Oh yeah, that was you.
it.
Yeah. Mets cap. That was good.
before I set up shop outside with my daughter. The first unfortunate little boy, he's maybe like 2.5, 3 years old. He was dressed up as Spider-Man. He knocks on my door, and I have my mask on. I open the door. You ever see that face like when the kid is scared by Santa Claus or something like
Oh
that?
yeah.
The curled lip and
They started crying.
yeah, and I
No, man.
and you know what? I derive such joy from that.
There's something about you, Mayo. I mean,
You're
that's been
just- you're a
revealed, I think,
sick
over the 2
bastard.
years of the show.
It's really the way to
His
Yeah.
lips started curling, and then I just lifted it up. It's like, I'm okay. I'm not a creepy
Can I
clown.
use
I
the
mean,
word
you are a
sick?
creepy clown, but
Did the word sick bastard have any?
did he cry
meaning to
more
you?
when you
Yeah.
took off the mask? Or did he feel better or
It did-
worse?
It didn't really make it much better. But then I gave him a double, triple dose of the candy,
Nice,
and he
nice.
was happy.
I
But
had
yeah.
candy, and I wasn't able to give any of it away. I ended up eating 2 Reese's peanut butter cups, the little ones. So,
Well, first of all, you're in one of those complexes
gated
where you're left
yourself.
on,
it's
on
good
the
there.
second floor,
There aren't many kids there.
What floor are you on?
We have a 3-story place.
and you're on.
Actually, it's 4 stories
you're
altogether.
so
yeah.
it is a
It's like a
ground
townhouse.
level.
It's like a townhouse.
It's a
No, but
townhouse.
it's the whole place is yours. I mean, it's
Right.
one place and it's 4 stories. Even though 2 of the stories are kind of fugazi, but I mean, it's way up there by the time you get to the bedrooms upstairs. So if you were up there, you wouldn't know that anybody was at the front door anyway, unless you really wanted to come down. But they had a nice party at the clubhouse for.
Oh, good.
The,
So you
I
could,
mean, there are kids there, little
Okay.
kids. I mean, it's
Not
not,
that
like
many.
it's out to cockers,
but
but
it's
there's an infusion of a few kids, and they had a special party for them and a Halloween party for all of the
good.
people.
Well, I hope
I did not attend though. However,
everybody had a good time on my block again. Streams of kids. I had 2 huge bags that I bought from my local wholesale club. I had a total of 465 pieces of candy, and I estimate we gave away probably about like 300. So we probably had
That's
over
what I
like
do.
100 kids, and each of them, these were the minis, and we give out like three pieces of candy
did
each.
they look at you like you're a freaking cheapskate?
No,
or
it wasn't cheap because they're going up and down.
Well,
the block.
there's a
What
lot
was
of
your What was your
houses,
favorite
like-
candy to get?
My
I mean,
fav-
of any candy bar, I can tell you what mine was because you normally wouldn't buy it because it was smaller in the proportion to other candy bars. So if you were spending your own money, but if you got one, it was absolutely fantastic.
What was it?
Well, and it came with a famous. I'll give you a hint here, and you might know this,
Playing
you
a
might
Mayo.
not, because it's going way back.
Exactly. That's
I'm
okay.
playing Mayo. Arnold Stang was the spokesman, the great actor Arnold
You're
Stang.
going way back. This
Yeah.
is
This
way
guy
back
was a
before.
skinny little guy.
Wait, was it the fake cigarettes that came in the?
No, no.
I always
I
liked
don't-
those.
those
The,
were okay,
the
but
bubble
nothing
gum
great,
that's
yeah.
disguised
Yes,
as a
and
That was a
cigarette.
bit
Close out.
fugazi. It was chunky.
Oh, chunky
Chunkies.
salad.
We
And Arnold
talked about
Stang-
chunky.
Arnold
Chunkies
Stang
are not minis.
What a chunk of chocolate. Was
I've
the,
never
tag.
seen a mini chunky. I've seen bigger chunkies.
But you wouldn't necessarily, if you were spending your own money as
No,
a
you
kid.
never get a
You
chunky.
would
Oh, you're
buy the
talking about if
chunky-
you're going into a candy store.
Right, because it was like a nickel, but it was smaller than like the other
Right.
candies that were out there at the
I
time.
like Reggie bars.
like a Hershey.
Reggie bars
You guys
were
are
back in
way-
the day.
you
Do
guys
you
are
one
way
remember
guy
those?
that liked the Reggie.
I did, and
Yeah,
I was a
man,
Mets fan.
Andy
So
What
said
about
Chucky, too.
Payday? Did you like Paydays?
That's horrendous.
I like
Isn't that
100
just-
I
grand.
like Paydays.
Isn't that just caramel and peanut butter and nothing
yes,
else?
yes.
I liked $100,000.
What about the
100
Clark
grand
bar?
does
The Clark
exist.
bar.
Yeah, I
And
like
that's how.
that.
So
I hated anything with coconut.
I'm
Coconut
more my
mounds
almond joy than you
was
hate
my
almond joy
worst
mounds.
nightmare.
Oh, I
Almond Joy,
like those, but I wouldn't buy those
shredded
either because they
coconut,
were
the
small.
worst.
You never buy them, man. No.
Anyway, had leftover candy, had enough for all the kids. Nobody egged my house or did anything. And
Yeah.
then actually, when I got done, my daughter went to a friend's house to do a little trick or
I
treating.
could
Or
see you being a Halloween
Hanging,
party
she
guy.
got
I ended up going up to Cafe Seville for a little bit
Oh,
last
nice.
night.
Oh, yeah.
How's
What'd you
Joey?
go
How they
as?
doing?
I
A
saw-
paying customer?
I s-
He's doing like-
I had a cocktail.
That would have been a good one. You should have shown up there and told Joey Esposito, hey,
Yes, that's your
what do you
costume.
think I am?
A paying customer.
A paying
You
customer.
actually give money for a check. Exactly.
No, I sat at the bar.
Oh, geez.
Joey and Sally were both there, and they had a
Was it
they had a huge crowd on Monday
It was
night. He
going
said
good?
they did
Yeah.
170 covers, and
Oh,
they have
wow.
a huge regular loyal
Segment.
Monday crowd of locals. Tuesday, Halloween is a little
Yeah,
tricky.
everyone
It's a
does
weird one.
But
family
he
stuff.
got, so it was a little bit slower in there last night, but Joey was in a great mood. Joey had a big bag of Goldberg's
Oh, they were going to
bagels.
save money.
No,
Oh, nice.
he went down earlier in the day and picked up some bagels from our friend Mark Goldberg, who's also a
Oh,
partner
nice.
in Grandpa's, but he went to Goldberg's
Same
Deli.
bagels,
He
essentially?
sat next to me. I was having the shrimp in the garlic sauce, the shrimp al ajillo with the beautiful
the one
crusty
Defo
bread.
likes.
Joey
Is it
sits.
al ajillo or ayejo?
I can't
I don't know
pronounce
what
it.
you're
Ayejo.
saying.
You're speaking Hebrew here.
Ajillo.
I'm
So
saying
it's
ayejo.
Ajillo.
I think
Ayejo.
Ayejo.
You're
Ayejo.
such a Brooklyn Jew. I mean,
I don't know. The two of you.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ayeho. Give me the
I
shrimp
think
with
it's
the
Ayeho.
You're
garlic
likely to get a
sauce.
bowl of Jello.
I'll
you
say
order like
shrimp
that.
and garlic sauce. Joey sits next to me. You talk about a Shonda. Okay. He's raving about their tuna salad, and Grandpa's has great tuna
You don't
salad.
like
and
tuna
bakes.
salad.
I love tuna salad.
He likes it with chips as an appetizer.
And
We
I like it on a
clarified this.
bagel.
It's not a sandwich. You
I
can't
don't
have
like it
tuna
on a big
sandwich.
hoagie.
Even
I don't
though
like it
tuna
on a
sal's
big
great.
hoagie roll. Okay.
We're not doing
But
this one again.
There are some like the tuna salad at Delaware Chicken Farm is
Yeah,
great
so
because they
liked
put
it.
some curry in it. I
Curry,
like
yeah.
that different thing.
Seaside
Grandpa's-
subs, you liked it there.
Grandpa,
didn't you?
yeah, they have
I think you liked it.
Grandpa's has great tuna salad and
Spot
baked
is the
salmon.
best.
And then Goldberg's, Joey was raving about the tuna salad at Goldberg's. So he sits down with a platter. He has an everything bagel that was right out of the bag
This is at Cafe Seville.
at Cafe Seville. You can't eat, if
turned
you
it into a deli?
He's the owner.
if you are a restaurateur, you're not going to eat paella every day. It's like you go out and you get some of
Gotta
the
get
other
something
things.
different, sure.
And Joey likes to support other locals
why
that
not?
opened up.
the area.
But here was the thing. He went back and he toasted up the bagels because they needed a little bit of life because it was from earlier in the morning. And he comes back with half of a sliced everything bagel with some tuna on it. And then he has, get this, a the cinnamon raisin bagel.
Oh, with tuna? I wouldn't
He
do
put
that.
No, you
tuna.
can't put
No,
tuna
And
in that.
Sally started yelling at him.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
you
you
can't
can't
do
do
that.
that.
No,
And
you
I just
can't do
said,
that.
that's a shonda.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
a
put
def-
tuna
you can't.
salad
The
on a
only thing you
cinnamon
put on that
raisin.
is butter or cream cheese.
Butter or cream cheese.
Yeah, that's exactly
Or
what I was
sometimes they
saying.
have a sweet cream cheese, like a strawberry cream cheese. if you really want to be sweet.
Once you
and
got the
get sick.
raisins and the cinnamon raisins, just straight cream cheese,
cheese
or
or
butter
butter.
is
Yep.
the appropriate
I'm
answer.
glad you become a convert, though, because you were opposed to like a tuna on a bagel can be like one of the greatest things.
That's amazing,
in
especially Yom
terms
Kippur.
of,
It's a great
something that you
fast.
order from a deli. It can be fantastic.
My revulsion to tuna, it's not even a revulsion. I just don't
You have
like
these
when
strange things, though, to
when
go
you
back to
put
your
it on this
childhood.
beautiful, a hoagie roll along
It's a
the
great sub.
It's
crusty
even
thing.
better. Yeah. Oh, look at this.
There he is.
Look
Oh,
at
there's the
this.
man.
This guy's already ready to
my
Chef
go.
Salvatore.
goodness, we got some.
He's
We're gonna
running
get-
around. He's running. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You're gonna come.
Come back, because
okay,
we should
I
take a
have
break
one
of some
question
sort,
for you,
man. Yeah.
One request. Do you have Enduja? Can you bring
The
some out
spread?
for them? I was explaining to him what Enduja was. 'cause I
Enduja
had it
spread.
at a
You can be
different
on the air and tell him.
restaurant. Yeah,
He can hear you.
You all can hear me. Oh, a rigatoni with Enduja. I want these
Nice.
guys
There
to
you go.
sample what. Yeah, that would be great. Fantastico.
You're the man.
He's taking orders here on the air.
I love he
Chef
brought food
How about a
just
break,
because he
Mayo? How
felt
about a break?
bad.
Throw in a break so we can eat some of these meatballs.
I'm just so
Yeah.
excited about this.
You're out of your
whole
mind today.
2-year
You really are.
anniversary.
I'm glad
gonna
you're-
just
I'm glad
start
you're in a
chugging
good
for
mood,
some
man.
more.
Yeah, sometimes you're so grumpy on the show that even Shiny can't watch it. Which is
I'm
amazing.
telling you, him
Give me
Grumpy's
a little
better.
exercise. Give me a little alcohol.
When he's happy, it's annoying.
I'm
And,
good.
and put a couple of meatballs in real regatta in front of you.
We're going to
And
get
you're
to
at the
that in
Casa
a
Calabria,
second.
Yeah.
Let's,
I'm already eating some.
Let's first talk about Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market,
Yes,
because
yes.
we're going to be there in a couple of weeks
We were just there
for our Friendsgiving on November 16th, the Thursday before Thanksgiving. We're going to be in there, but you should go in there way before that, because they got the greatest selection and quality of not just the poultry that made them initially famous, but also the steaks, the sausages, the pork products, and of course the seafood, the bounty of the seas, the freshest in stone crabs, Florida lobster tails, and so many other great fishes. Fishies?
It's fish, just fish, just fish. Oh my
2
God!
years,
Aren't
people.
you were a writer for years?
2 years.
You went to
Oh,
the
the
London
little
School of
fishies.
Economics.
How many
which
years
is
as a
still-
food critic for the Sun
What the
Channel?
hell?
I
At
got
least
these
a
little
good
fishies
6,
over
7. Yeah, that's it. Award winning.
Went to a great
Oh,
undergrad.
wow.
Unbelievable.
There's a lot
Uh,
wrong with you.
beautiful seafood and fish display there. Go in
Really
there.
is great.
DelawareChicken.com is the website where you can get all the weekly specials and the daily offerings. And don't forget, Thanksgiving is coming up. You want to get those
Yep,
Thanksgiving
great place.
orders in, give them a call, and you'll find the telephone number on the website, DelawareChicken.com. And of course, we've got
This fresh turkey thing sounds
fresh
fascinating.
turkey.
Yeah,
It
it's
really
fresh
does.
killed
You've
turkey.
been talking about it for a couple
They
of years.
bring them in from a farm in Florida by the truckload, depending on what the final total is, and they just it makes all the difference. They're fresh. They've never been frozen. They cook up beautifully. You can brine them,
Makes a big difference.
prepare them any way you want. You could fry them if you want.
Have
but
you ever fried a turkey?
I don't. We don't. It's.
I would like to try that. I've never had it.
I've
Michelle-
heard
Right.
it's great. I've never done it.
It could
Yeah.
lead to some major
Yeah, it freaks me out.
disasters. It's a high risk, high reward kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's what it
I've
feels like.
Is it
heard
really
that
that dangerous?
fried-
Oh yeah, it's real
according to
dangerous.
BSO,
Oh, no,
they
it's really
do that
dangerous.
demonstration
Oh,
every
no, it's
year.
really
where it's
dangerous.
just
Well, you don't want to throw it in there.
That's
No.
what people.
You
It's
wanna
really
kinda
dangerous.
submerge
submerge it
there,
gently.
yeah.
Yes, but
It's super
Like
dangerous.
shamuja, you should be saying
Yeah,
shamuja as you
Ever-
immerse this thing into the oil.
you cook your Thanksgiving turkey that
come
you
out great if
procure
it's
from,
from
Delaware
Delaware, yeah.
Chicken, it's going to come out beautifully. And I could personally attest to it because I've been
'Cause you're a
getting my
maniac.
Thanksgiving bird there for over, it's like 25 years, ever
That's
since
amazing.
I met Michelle. And she's a great cook, and she makes Thanksgiving bird every year. Again, Delaware Chicken is at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. Go there, not just for the holidays, at any day. All the great stuff. Pick up something for tonight or for the weekend, and tell them that Mike Mayo and Defo and Lubie's Lunchbox sent you.
It's a beautiful thing, man. All right, so we're here at Casa Calabria.
I'm gonna send
View
out
is,
some
view is
meatballs here.
fantastic here. It is, I mean, you're talking about a romantic
like on
place.
the
You want to
beach.
bring a
It's amazing.
first-time starter out and impress her?
Yep.
Come to the Casa Calabria. It's absolutely great. Very romantic place. And the way they treat you, the service is just absolutely dynamite. I've been here many, many times. Got to give it a shout-out to our friend Dominic, the Dominator. Tremendous guy. He's been serving here for a while with Frankie
Look at the
Tallarico.
scoop of ricotta
And
That's
cheese.
nice.
wow, very
Beautiful.
nice. Mike Mayo going crazy.
Nice heavy
Whole
cheese.
meatballs for everybody. But a great place. And we're coming back to talk to the chef here at Casa
Yes.
Calabria in a
So,
moment on the anniversary, 2-year anniversary edition of Mike Mayo's incredible lunchbox.
People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova, or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Max's 9089 West Atlantic Avenue in Delray Beach. For more than a decade, a top spot for lunch, weekend brunch, and dinner at the Delray Marketplace in West Delray. It's a family-friendly dining room in a comfortable setting with also an outdoor patio that's pet-friendly. American classics like chicken and waffles, brick oven pizzas, chopped salads, and of course, great burgers, including the famous Farmhouse Burger and the traditional Prime Burger. Open 7 days with happy hour at the bar and high tops from opening until 6:30. For reservations and more information, go to bertandmaxes.com.
We should use that as our point to talk about Rappaport.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're back on the Lunchbox. Yeah, it's a good time. We can talk, sing the praises of Rappaport's restaurant group, which 4 restaurants, actually 5 of them, because Prezzo has 2 locations.
Yeah.
We got the Italian
Yeah, so Sarni was asking.
Sarni wants us to go to
Sarni
West
has
Palm
to
Beach,
ask
like maybe up to
the pain in
Stewart
the
and
ass
Fort Pierce.
question.
Palm Beach Gardens. Now, I've floated it to him because, we're doing rotating visits,
all the
remote
restaurants.
shows from all the Rappaport restaurant group. We did last week at Deck 84, before that at Max's Grill in Boca, and next week we're going to be at the Burton Max's in West Delray Beach in that Delray Marketplace
What
complex.
day is that? A friend of mine wants to meet me there.
That's going to be next Tuesday. So that is whatever the day that Tuesday is. I believe it's the 7th of November. Election day in some places, but I don't think we're electing
What does that mean,
anything.
election day? Because what election
Who's getting
going on
elected
now?
right now? I mean,
There are some.
What's on the ballot?
There are some places, not in Florida, not any localities here because it's an off year, but in certain states they do have gubernatorial or other elections next week.
Well,
so
what are we voting on?
we got nothing. We got nothing.
No
Sadly, I
issues,
wish we
no
could
next
vote
year,
for
amendments.
governor again.
next year is the big one. But so next Tuesday will be Burton Max's, and then later in the month we'll be at the Prezzo in Boca. Now I gave them the option. I said, "Do you want us to go up to Palm Beach Gardens where that
I
other
hope they said
the
no.
second location
Only
is?"
because of the travel time.
And they said no because they realize that most of our audience is clustered in this Broward and South Palm Beach area where Boca and Delray is. So we're going to
more
stick
open
with
to going.
Boca, and why not? Because Eddie Pozzoli there took great care of us last
in
time.
other words, forget about it, Sarni.
Yeah, well, Sonny, he just likes to be difficult sometimes. But
He's very, very weird like that.
yeah, he kept asking him about my candy, and that seemed a little bit invasive.
Very invasive, yeah.
So anyway, Rappaport's restaurant group, you
do a
can
great
follow at the bottom of the crawl, look at all their Instagram accounts and their websites. They have all kinds of specials. Each one of their restaurants, they all have happy hours and half price or Wind Down Wednesday promotions, all kinds of great stuff. And a bunch of them are also going to be open for Thanksgiving and serving. So check it out. And we'll be there next Tuesday. Tell your friend. And we'll see Buddha, your friend.
Yeah, he's a
your
good dude.
friend.
Buddha's a good man.
And I will horrify him with probably a big bite of
I
something.
think he was entertained by it. I really do. And that was that wasn't really at the beginning of this.
Yep.
Where you started doing this, and the 2-year anniversary. How many big bites, Louis? Would you say overall?
That's a recent phenomenon.
Have we gone with Have we done 50?
I think there's
Oh, he's done at least 50.
50?
good
Oh,
news,
yeah,
by the way.
yeah.
Is there any way you can do any kind of a demonstration
I have
of it
to
today?
find my thing.
No,
Louis
you're
made a
not going to
meatball
get
sandwich out of that.
This is a
Should've
classy
done it with my
occasion.
thing.
It's the second anniversary.
This is,
And
Casa Calabria.
can I just share a couple of memories with you? I know you get a little weepy and emotional, Defo.
No, only because I'm still here. But I wasn't sure about the future of the show.
origin story is that, and we owe a debt of gratitude. Okay, I came on after I left the Sun Sentinel, and I was a complete bum and doing nothing except getting paid for a while by the Sun Sentinel for taking their buyout.
But now that you look back, it wasn't long enough.
Exactly, it never is.
Yeah.
But it was the COVID year where everybody was locked down, and you came up with the concept of bringing me on your
Door
morning AM show.
Imagine that. I thought it was a good idea at one time.
And at that point, we
What is there,
called
lady
it.
me? Where?
It was the Gambling Gourmet Hour.
Yes.
And
That
it
was
was
cool.
the
It was a good
last
concept.
hour of the week on a Friday morning from 9 to 10 o'clock
Right.
at Gulfstream Park, where you would set up this little remote thing.
It was
And
nice.
because it was the pandemic, not another living soul was around. Lubie was back at his homestead, and I would show up, and
I was at the
you would
station.
just hunched over this little chair. It was a very poignant sight. You know, it kind of like instead of the old
Oh
man
my
and the
God,
sea
look at
was
that.
the
I didn't
old
realize
man
there
and
was
the
more food. I mean,
microphone. Oh, look at this.
gone
We
to the
got
chair.
Salvatore
Wow,
coming in.
wow, wow.
But anyway, we
Okay.
had a great time doing that segment, and then
Smells great.
Norm Kent, the late great Norm Kent, had a talk show on 1470, and he invited me to come on his show, and we would talk. He ostensibly invited me to talk about food, but then he would go off on these political tangents and
very political.
He
harangues,
liked talking
Cheers.
baseball too.
and we talked baseball. But then he kept saying, "Hey, Mike, you should do a food show. We should do a food show together. Go
So
around
he
to
aced
different
out a guy who
restaurants."
was dying of cancer.
So-
Is that what you're saying?
And the thing was, I loved Norm, but I couldn't see myself going around doing a show with him because,
it wasn't quite your style.
it wasn't my style because he would inevitably get too political, and I didn't want to make a political show.
Yeah.
So,
they
but
brought
then,
the Gnocchi out.
look,
the
he's got.
Oh, my
gnocchi.
You know, he's going to sit in a second.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
just
gonna-
wrap
no,
up
I'm
this
gonna get
story
him
and
up.
say
I'm gonna get him-
I
I'm
owe
gonna
a
get
debt of
him now.
gratitude to both you and the late great Norm Kent because it was a combination of two things, and we kind of Wally Pipped him. He was Wally Pip, and we were Lou Gehrig.
It was,
He unfortunately
inevitable.
he got sick. He can no longer do his radio show, which is an hour or 2 hours long on 1470.
So horror that I am, I
And-
bought the time slot
Oh yeah, that's
at
the
a
slot
very
you
discounted
got.
rate
That's
because
so
they were
funny.
desperate and the guy was dying.
And then we stole his idea and went around to different places for
That's
lunch.
so
but
funny.
but I think
Well, he
Norm
was a fan of ours.
appreciated
He
it.
was a
Norm
fan
Kent.
of ours. He came
Yeah,
to our
he-
shows.
He was good. He was an advocate.
No,
literally,
yeah, he came to our
for our
shows. He was a
shows,
fan.
yeah.
It wasn't like we stole
Norm and I,
anything.
we were always on good
He loved our
terms.
shows.
And
You loved the guy. You really did.
and I did.
He came out to the Wicked. Remember?
What
he
are we
was there.
diving into here, Mayo? What do you think?
All right, so
Saul's
now
gonna come now, I think.
I
We're
just
gonna
have
Saul's
fond
coming.
memories of that first week. Remember, I had no idea what I was doing on the air. I was completely
We remember.
nothing much has
Well,
changed in 2 years,
I would
but
have to say.
but that first week where we went out and got the
Well,
McRib
what you did a great
sandwich.
job of is rallying around all of the restaurant people that you knew, and they saw the value in this thing, which is
Yeah.
amazing. And they all responded, which we have
Well,
an unbelievable roster of fine sponsors. Here.
And we do have to.
And that was, almost all on you, I would have to say.
Well, thank you for that
Honestly,
because
you've done a good job of
That's
even
the tough part, too.
even when we first started out as the Gambling Gourmet, I tried to bring some sponsors on board, and
You were great.
I was very, very fortunate enough to have
Ooh,
some
this is
really
spicy.
good supporters in
okay.
the industry, and I got to give a shout out now to our friends, Jack Studiali and
From day one.
Big Jack
and,
was the
and
first to sign
Tropical
up.
Acres,
He was the first, yeah.
been a huge, tremendous supporter. The guys at Even Keel Fish Shack, Brad and Dave have
From the
been
beginning.
Take a bite
supporters.
of that. Tell me what you think
Wade
it is, 'cause
over at
it's
Pizza
Wade in
spicy.
the
Spot.
sausage thing?
It's got a little
These
Frandiano.
are all OG supporters of the show, and just look at us now. I mean, we keep growing and getting new sponsors. Now, is this the rigatoni with the andouille? Or
Oh, that's what it is.
yeah. Well, let me
Wow,
see.
it's great. But very spicy. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, real tasty.
Now, wow, that's
This
so
turned into
good.
some food festival,
And-
didn't
This
it?
is super
It
strong.
always
You know,
does.
was.
Now, this is a little bit of
Going to your
entertainment.
food critic thing.
I'm going in food critic now
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I do what I love about this is going out and talking about food and displaying food. And earlier this week, I was talking about how I went to Boya Day, a Michelin-starred restaurant in Miami, and they had this fantastic
Oh, this was
dish
the same
with
thing?
the
Nice.
baked clams where they would spread, besides breadcrumbs, they'd spread andouille on it. And I was asking if you guys knew what andouille was, and you would
I
make some
think I took it
wisecracks.
once at a
that
it was-
psychedelic party.
Yeah, that it was
Yeah.
a disease or a drug or this or that. Andouille, and this is what a perfect fit.
All right, what
It
is
is a
andouille?
product from Calabria, and this is Casa Calabria,
Very spicy.
the Calabrese region
So
of.
Frank, by the way, I saw on your
Italy.
phone said happy anniversary, and he sad that he couldn't make it.
So yeah, that's he's got
Check
other
on
business.
man.
my rooms with Frank.
He may be watching.
Frankie will be up
Hey,
in
you can
Melbourne
make it up to
shortly, yeah.
Defo by
No.
just
He may be
comping
watching.
a couple of prime rooms at Porta Iver during peak
I only
season.
need one room.
All right, Andouja we were talking about. It is I described it the other day
Who has
as
a
a
cake?
spicy spreadable salami. It's
That's
used.
this
It's
one
a
you're
pork.
talking about.
It's like a pork pate, but with Calabrian spice. And you can spread it. Now, you can also use it on different dishes, like at Boyade. They spread it on top of a clam with breadcrumbs and they bake it, and it gives a different spin on a baked clam.
Yeah, clam.
This, I asked Chef Salvatore. He'll come out and we'll chat in a minute, but this is just basically the Andouja spread on a beautiful piece of toasted, Italian bread. And then he put some Andouja in this sauce with the
that's what's in there.
rigatoni,
Oh, man.
and that gives it a
That's a
kick.
lot of
Wow.
cake.
Now,
I'm
I
not
want
lying.
you to. Did you take one of these
I
already?
haven't
I
tried
tried
one
some
of
of
those,
it.
but
I'm a wuss.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
addicted
not-
a lot
to
of
this
kick for me.
particular
It has a
prostate.
lot of kick.
Yeah,
I'm going to
for
take
me.
a bite of the.
You know,
You know how
And-
when you get a great hot sauce, whether it's at a Mexican restaurant or any place,
oh man,
some Cajun
It has a
joint,
kick.
and you can't get enough because it becomes addicting right away.
I'm not a big kick guy.
And that kick is
But I'll try it.
fantastic on
That's
that.
a try.
And you can't stop eating it even though it's making you schwitz.
from the. Yeah.
It's
great.
I love that description.
It's funny how food sometimes becomes about the pleasure and pain and the balance between them.
I can't stop. With
It's
that
like
one, but
you
I
and
wanna
the
try
Chinese
other stuff.
mustard.
Yeah, in the sand, in the
What else do we have?
in the pasta, it's not as strong. In this, so it must be what you said. It's a sauce that he threw some in,
Mm-hmm.
whereas this is more concentrated and
That's
it's
delicious.
very strong. The kick, and the
this on a
pasta is
little platter.
delicious. The pasta, it's a little bit of a kick with pasta, which is it feels like a Fra Diavolo.
Mm.
Whereas this, it's very strong.
I would call this a very rich, luscious sauce that has a great kick. It has that. It just nurtures your soul. I mean, can you imagine if it was like sweater weather in South Florida, like 50 degrees,
this
and you
feels
dug
like that.
into a plate of this like rigatoni?
I mean, it's
with
there's wind
Andouja?
advisory today. It's actually
You
the
know what
weather is
I
nice
love,
today.
about this place because I've been with Frankie for a long time. He's had various different enterprises, tremendous restaurateur. He's had great success. But he really put his whole soul into this one.
Yes.
Not that he didn't do it with other places like the Bamboo Beach or Tokyo Blue that he had before this, or he has Piazza Italia, or did down in Las
Las
Olas.
Olas, yep.
And he's had other enterprises. He's doing his thing in Melbourne. He's got a tiki bar over in the
In
Bahamas.
Bimini or something
But
like that.
this was like a personal thing with him.
Yeah,
And-
it's
and-
his
and
heritage.
You could see it. I mean,
Look
it's the
around,
family
his picture of his
recipes,
family.
and the pride that is taken here is just unbelievable.
Look, there's a lot of Italian. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of Italian restaurants,
And
obviously
many
in
very
Fort
good ones.
Lauderdale.
Many very good
There's
ones.
even a lot of just up and down this strip.
In
I
this
could
area.
name there's like 8 of them, and some of them are really good. But this place, the reason I reviewed it for the Sun Sentinel is because it's doing something a little bit different, where
Yep.
you get that
Yep.
home cooking from a particular region
Yeah,
of Italy. It's not just a blanket. Everything on every region, every province of Italy.
It makes you want to
This
go there
is-
as part of your
Yes, it
travel
makes you feel
itinerary.
like it,
He
you're in Italy.
focuses on the stuff that his nonna was making, all the stuff that he grew up with, those family recipes, and to get like an Andouja laced rigatoni dish.
Now, will you have to request that, or
Yeah, I'm
you have to
imagining
dish out
he's
some of
gonna
that
come at
gnocchi
some point,
too
so we'll ask
before
him.
that stuff gets cold.
they
there,
do a
right?
lot of things. If you request it here, this place, one of the reasons I love it is
People, the
because
eater
they're
is
in the
really
yes
immersed.
business, and this
Oh, look at
this
that.
is on the
That's your
menu all the
favorite, isn't it?
time. This
That's
is
my wife's
their
favorite.
ricotta gnocchi. I call them those heavenly little pillows.
But the story
the
behind it is
gorgonzola,
fantastic.
The gorgonzola cream
Oh,
sauce,
all
and
right.
again, the way they were talking about. Frank, you sure you want to make it with ricotta? It's like almost twice as expensive as
Right,
if
right.
we
This
made
guy
it with
could have thrown a
potatoes,
potato
or
in there.
flowers, or
No, he
some
wanted
of the
potato.
and it's like,
Chef
no,
Saul
Frank's
wanted
like,
to do
I've
potato.
got to do the ricotta because that is
That's the real
the
deal.
old-fashioned, old-school way.
Oh, wow.
And again, this is in the gorgonzola
You can
cream
taste the difference,
sauce.
though. You really can.
And again, when you get
It's
these
just lighter.
hot
It's just
right out of
lighter.
there, and
How do
then
you
you
describe
got
them as pillowy?
little
something?
fluffy clouds, little fluffy pillows straight from heaven. That's how I describe them.
It's not a bad description.
And
that's
you
what it feels
put
like.
a little bit of that arugula,
Yeah,
which
I
This
like
is
the
on the
arugula.
regular menu.
This
not
is on the
something
regular
special.
Yeah, this is a
menu.
regular
Wow.
dish.
I mean, I sing the praises of this place
Woo, that
because
is great.
it is different. It is completely you've got the ocean view if you get out here when the sun is still up, and even if the sun has set, it's a very romantic room, beautifully
with the
lit.
moon the way it's been the
all
last couple
kinds
of
of-
nights. Are you kidding me?
He's got family portraits and photos.
Well, and that
hanging.
word that gets thrown around all too often, this is authentic.
This is a place
is
where
actually
literally,
authentic
if, let's say
Italian
you had a
food.
first-time starter, you're bringing a Casa
Oh my
Calabria,
God, those are so good.
and then you
Those
go
are
down to the
so
tiki
good.
bar, have a couple of drinks after. Then you're out there on the beach, and maybe things get a little bit more romantic, as you would say, and you could get a room here. It's
Yep.
unbelievable.
It is
Or
the
even
Ocean
just
Manor
rent a
Hotel
cabana if you really want to be risque. But I mean, it's so great. The experience that you would have here at Casa Calabria any night of the week would be just absolutely divine.
No, and again, it's one of those.
And
It's
this
an
food is
Italian
great,
restaurant
man.
that, in a sea of Italian restaurants, it stands
Stands out.
apart because it does enough things.
There's no place with a view like this. Monterano's doesn't have it. Casa, Casa
Really
D'Angelo doesn't have it. And they have great food there. But
I just
you'll see
recommend.
this spike on sites that this is their the go-to place, even in a
This-
fantastic area for Italian places.
It's one of those places a lot of people haven't been in here. They don't know that it exists, or they think, oh, it's a hotel restaurant. You got to go deal with the
Yeah.
valet parking, but you can park here and just tell them you're eating here, and they'll validate the valet. Or better yet, there's a parking lot right across the street
Right.
that belongs to the hotel, and
I'm
you can
pulling
just
up for the free
go-
valet, man.
all right, yeah,
every
but
time,
you could, for some
The parking
people,
across the street isn't difficult though.
no,
Like,
and
very accessible.
I'm one of those. I guess I have my not phobias, but I don't like
You have
other
phobias?
people driving my car.
Yeah.
I just don't like waiting for a
I
valet.
don't
That's
like
my
the whole
only issue.
valet thing. So
It just
if I
takes
could
a lot of
self
time.
park, I always self park when I can, and that's an option here. That's
All right.
another thing.
Yeah.
And man, the gnocchis blow me away. And
Those were fantastic.
you don't even need
yeah.
to, because the arugula that he tops it with, arugula it's a vegetable similar, I guess, the lettuce.
Spinach.
It's a
Reminds me of
green.
spinach.
It's like spinach, but it has a peppery edge to it. So you don't even need to put any black
Mm-hmm.
pepper on this, because if you have a gnocchi with a little arugula on top of it, it just gives it that little burst of peppery brightness that comes from a natural green, along with the unbelievable fluffiness of the ricotta dreamlike cloud.
You
below.
lost your mind, man.
I just have the flavors. I like
Yeah.
you don't need salt. You don't need pepper.
The taste on that pasta is.
I do
unbelievable.
Parmesan cheese
Italian.
just because I do, but you don't need it. Like none of these need
Now,
additional.
what do we got
I'd say
here?
What do we have
spinach
there?
ravioli.
Oh, we got a spinach rav.
Might have to try that. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
I cut one in half.
I'll
but
pass
there's-
this
I
over
think
to
All right,
six
I'm gonna
Defo.
grab a little piece
Grab one
that.
of
Yeah,
those.
Yeah,
I better clear some plate room here in a second. I've got the plate of a
Well, you don't
3-year-old.
finish any
Oh,
items.
wow,
you
these
just
are big,
eat
man. Oh,
bites of
nice,
items. That's
nice,
sort of your
nice.
move.
Well, because what do you want me to
Yes.
do? Just start
But this
cramming
isn't a
everything in
food
there?
contest. Like
Oh, this was,
it's not that much
You know what?
food.
I'm going to
Well-
take a whole ravioli. These look spectacular. Also, oh look, it's a green ravioli, like
Yeah,
you
straight
said, a
spinach
spinach
ravioli,
ravioli,
yeah.
with dusted with a beautiful. Did he put an andouja sauce on this one?
I
as
don't
well?
know.
No,
This doesn't
see,
have a kick. No, this doesn't
this
have
no
a
kick, so
This-
it's just a straight up,
marinara. It feels like.
marinara, beautiful
Totally
tomato
different
sauce.
contrast and flavors. From,
But that's the thing, exactly. We always say that. Like, I love that the flavors are so distinct,
wow.
yet still so
That's great.
strong.
Wow, I like the spinach
we
ravioli.
come
on
here.
that.
And he's got it.
I normally would think no way spinach ravioli, but this is great.
Oh no, this I mean,
And he's got it topped with that other different kind
It's
of
a different
cheese.
kind of cheese.
I don't know if it's a mozzarella or that ricotta salata,
I
which is
think it's a
kind of like a
different kind of-
shredded
yeah.
ricotta cheese. We'll find out from him in a
Yeah,
moment.
I don't know what the hell he's doing back there.
I don't know
He
what
may
I'm
not
doing
make the
either,
show.
because it's
Yeah.
already 1:55. We got to
Could be
take
a
another
scratch.
break,
Yeah.
and we've got to talk about.
Well, you teased on them before.
Visit Lauderdale.
Yes,
Today's
yes.
November 1st. It's
It
the
is
beginning-
officially.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's the beginning of a beautiful relationship with the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine
Well,
Festival.
We've had a relationship for a long
I
time
know.
with these people. and I'm happy
Okay,
to be back
it
with
is
them.
the continuance of a
Yes.
beautiful relationship
Wow.
with the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. They've got so much good stuff coming up on tap. They are expanding. I remember the first year of the festival, they hold it down actually in Hollywood on Young Circle. And like any first year festival,
Well, were Phil and Kate involved? Because I feel like Phil and
they
Kate get
were.
involved.
They were. It
Take
was
it to
their
another level.
baby.
From the beginning.
From the beginning. And Angelo Ilio was an early supporter. I remember I was one of the judges for the grand tasting. But, like anything, it was kind of like taking
They're in their
off.
legs.
You
Sea
have
legs.
to get your legs under you. Have to establish yourself and get some respect. And now this has grown into
It's a monster.
a monster, but a controllable monster.
See, but that's
One
the thing.
Yes.
I like the idea. I like the way they handle it because it's like a whole friggin' week.
It's not over 100 events. They have, like, I'd say, there's like 5 big signature events throughout the week where they have I think they call it the bar fight.
Bar bash. Is the
bar
bash?
fight. I should really bone
Barbecue
up on
bash
this.
or something
But that's on a Wednesday night. Now they're introducing on Thursday night a new thing called Walk and Roll, which is going to be featuring a lot of the Asian food, street food, and dumplings and dim sum, we're going to be doing our remote show this month to help promote that new event on the Thursday night with our friends Alex and Diego from
nice.
Temple Street Eatery.
I love
But
Temple
we're
Street.
doing it at their new venture. Do you know they're opening a new Asian-themed food hall in Pembroke Pines, of all
I
places?
didn't know that.
It's supposed to be opening this month, at some point this month.
That's sick.
And we're going to get in there and do our remote show with Alex and Diego and maybe a couple more of the proprietors that are going to be involved with this new food hall in Pembroke Pines. And they're all going to be also involved with the rock and roll event. So that's going to be an exciting part. Then we got Friday is the barbecue event, which you love so much.
Yeah, that was
that's
well
a
run.
blast.
Saturday is
Very
the
nice.
grand tasting down at the Beachfront Park, A1A and Las Olas Boulevard there right on Fort Lauderdale Beach. And again, this is the right size. They don't have it overcrowded. They don't
Nope.
have all these long lines. The VIP hours are great because you can get in and out and get
Food's
all the
good,
great
too.
stuff.
Well, the food's great.
The food is
And you
great.
have great interaction with the restaurateur/chefs, which I really love.
And there's a full lineup of intimate dinners that has not been unveiled yet. But let me just tell you that what I've heard, it's going to be some really special collaboration dinners at some of the best restaurants in Broward County, featuring some top chef talent, not just from Greater Fort Lauderdale area, but from throughout the country. Our friend Jeremy Ford, who is doing great work down in Miami, he's going to be at one of these collaboration dinners. It's going to be a great time. Go to vlfoodwine.com to look look at all the events and start buying tickets because they are going fast, especially the VIP tickets for the grand tasting. That's going to be on Saturday, January 13th. We love the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. I'm so happy that we're going to be actively involved with them, not just during the festival in January. We're going to be making year-round events, and stay tuned because there's going to be some new collaborative events, activations, as they call it.
Yeah, I love it.
Involving us, Defo, the Lunchbox.
Wow.
Is going to be joining forces with Visit
Strength
Lauderdale.
of this program.
There might be
2 years in.
might be
Still
a
not
Mike
simple.
Mayo's Lunchbox lunch bash sometime next year.
Everything is
Let's
Mayo.
go. I
Coming
love
in
it.
2024.
Okay.
Stay tuned for that. But meanwhile, for the food lover in your world, makes a great holiday gift, vlfoodwine.com.
All right, we might do an eat and run here at Casa Calabria, which is great. But coming back to
gonna try
wrap
and get
up
the
today's
chef,
edition, phenomenal stuff here. Mayo with the chef,
Salvatore
whatever that
doing a great
rigatoni thing is again, unbelievable.
Anduja.
Casa Calabria, beautiful place to come, and we'll finish things off in a moment.
Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. Couple of quick points.
You got to applaud this man.
We'll applaud Chef Salvatore in a second, but a couple of words about Tropical Acres. You want to go in there again, 2500 Griffin Road, and also make your Thanksgiving reservations now for Tropical Acres. They're going to be open from 1 to 8 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day. If you want, get a reservation, 954-989-2500. And my brother and his wife were in there last night. Happy birthday today to Tracy. It is a birthday today, November 1st, and they celebrated with a good hunk of prime rib last night and some great hospitality at Tropical Acres.
Your ex-wife
there.
had a picture of prime rib cut there.
She went there too last
phenomenal.
night. It
Looked
seemed like
phenomenal.
all the Mayos
Wow.
were there last night except
you.
for me,
Yeah.
but that's okay. This Mayo is very happy where he is today, Casa Calabria. Tomorrow,
What a job.
we're going to be at Wicked Cheesesteaks with our man Brian in Fort Lauderdale, right across from Holy
Come on
Cross
out.
Hospital, conveniently enough for me. But right there, Commercial and Federal Highway, Wicked Cheesesteaks. Come on out if you want tomorrow and help us continue the 2-year celebration. Meanwhile, we are here, Chef Salvatore. I mean, really,
Hi, guys.
How are you?
what a
Yeah,
feast.
What a job.
How are you today? Thank
good.
you.
I'm
Thank you
good.
for celebrating our 2-year anniversary of this program. The show, the Lunchbox show, turns 2 today. We're toddler. We're
Could not have
toddling
been more
around.
of a spectacular, though.
This
The
is great.
presentation today.
What did you prepare for us? I think I
Okay.
nailed almost everything, but we got
Start con the first, your favorite dish, que
Yes.
is gnocchi ricotta con gorgonzola sauce.
he knew I was
and
coming.
topping of rucola. It's a fresh ricotta made in the home.
It's so good.
Later I make the stuffed ravioli, spinach, and ricotta con tomato sauce and ricotta salada.
And I nailed it. I said that shredded cheese on top was ricotta salata, which is a variation of
Delicious,
ricotta.
though. Very nice.
Shredded, beautiful. And
And we
then
have fresh rigatoni.
this was great.
They're making the home too. Fresh rigatoni con tomato sauce and nduja.
Nduja, which we
This
were
is
talking.
all dishes in the menu. All 3 dishes in the menu.
That's on the
Nduja,
menu?
This is
one
on
there?
the menu, and you
And
call
the
it.
menu too.
You
Great.
call it what?
Wow.
Rigatoni
Rigatoni
Calabrian.
casa.
The
The
casa.
name is Rigatoni
Right.
Casa
The house-
because
house
you have
rigatoni.
Nduja
House
che from
rigatoni.
Calabria, and the name of the restaurant is Casa Calabria. Queen for this is our
Yeah.
name Rigatoni
'Cause
Casa.
That nduja, and I mispronounced it. I said nduja, but it's that
It's
spreadable,
spicy.
spicy
It's
salami.
spicy.
I got to tell you something, because now spicy rigatoni dishes have become all the rage at some of these trendy restaurants down in Miami, but they don't do it like this. They do it like in a spicy vodka sauce. This is so much more soulful and luscious, and just the way it warms my soul. And I was saying, like, when it's sweater weather, I want to dive into a whole bowl full of this stuff. It's so freaking good, and it's got that kick.
This is really Italian. This is the point.
That's great stuff. It
The
really
point.
is.
Everybody for to put spicy pasta use chili flakes. No use the other one sauce for the make spicy.
Yeah.
This andouille is creamy.
Right, because it has
It's
the
a
andouille.
good ingredient for the make spicy dish.
Spreadable spicy salami. It's
Really,
like a
really
salami pate.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so freaking
It's
good.
similar salami pate.
Yeah.
You hit a
And-
home run, chef.
And we
Unbelievable.
destroyed the
meatballs.
polpette, the
Yeah.
You have
meatballs.
the
It's
beautiful meatball because this is a story for the Casa Calabria. Meatball is the
Yeah.
best dish que have Casa Calabria for me because everybody come for this meatball.
it's a beautiful
For
pork
the
and meat,
appetizer.
Well
pork
done.
and beef meatball with also that beautiful ricotta cheese. Chef, you did it again.
Thank you. You knocked us out.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. I'm sorry. Everybody was busy today. Meetings and things were
Yeah.
popping up, but that's okay
In between, he did all this.
because we roll with the punches here
Yeah, it's
on the
beautiful.
Lunchbox. And I tell you what, it is a spectacular place to come for our once a month lunch visits. And you're going to want to come out here. They're open every day but Monday at Casa Calabria.
It's closed.
Closed
Monday,
on Mondays, but Tuesday through Sunday,
Open at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Beautiful
is
spot.
the place to be. Again, get a different, homey, the soulful Southern Italian Calabrian cooking from Chef Salvatore here, Frank Talrico, also a master of hospitality. They're in the yes business. If you ever want to just have something, I mean, they've got the great antipasta platters. If you just want to have the bruschetta with the andouille,
Bruschetta with
They'll
andouille.
do
This is the
just
one.
ask.
Just ask him, make a bruschetta.
Great
with
seafood
andouille.
here, too. I mean, they also
Yeah.
feature great
Oh, the
seafood.
Dover sole I had
Yeah.
here with Valerie when last time I came on a Saturday night date. His tableside preparation where he carves up that
beautiful.
fish like a surgeon, like he's Christian Bernard.
He's
It's
unreal,
unbelievable. I'm turned into Defo with the
you're losing
surgical.
it. Yeah, no, you really got it.
The Prosecco is getting to my head, Chef.
All right, happy
All right.
anniversary, everybody. Happy
He's ready to
anniversary.
get
Mayo,
out
you
of here.
made it.
We'll see you tomorrow at Wicked Cheesesteaks. Everybody check out Casa Calabria, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Enjoy every andouille bruschetta. Enjoy every ravioli, meatball, rigatoni de casa, and of course the gnocchi, and enjoy every sandwich.
Okay.
He's putting